So now we're gonna move into doing some spinal articulation and hip mobility exercises. So we're gonna do a roll up, and then we're gonna do some bridging, and then we'll do some hip circles to work on the lengthening of our hamstrings, and then to work on some core and our lumbo hip stability. So we'll start seated down. You wanna keep your knees bent, and if your hamstrings are a little tight, it's okay if you can't fully lengthen your legs out. So reach your fingertips in front of you. I'll show the modification first. Squeeze your inner thighs together. It's gonna be very helpful. Now take an inhale. You wanna pull your abdominals away from your thighs as you roll all the way down. As your head and neck comes down, your arms will slightly go behind you. Don't let your ribs flare as your arms come back. Take an inhale, hands will come over the chest. As you curl up, you scoop up, and you can hold the back of your thighs and then roll all the way back up. I'll show two more like that. Take an inhale and an exhale. This is a nice massage for the spine, and it also kind of lets you find any kind of sticky spots in the spine as you curl up. And then you come right back up into extension. We'll do one more. Now I'm gonna lengthen all the way back in a true roll up. So take an inhale. As I exhale, I scoop as I reach my fingertips over my toes. I'm keep squeezing my inner thighs together, drawing my waistline in, trying to let each vertebra reach down and towards the mat further than the one before. We'll do two more. Take an inhale and an exhale as we lift and we reach. Good, keep anchoring down the shoulders and the shoulder blade to stay nice and stable. And we'll do one last one. This feels nice in the spine, and it's just a good reset and check-in to how you're feeling. And then laying all the way down. Arms are gonna be nice and long down by your side. Just bend your knees. Keep it so your hip distance apart. And again, just squaring off your pelvis. Make sure that we have that neutral pelvis and we're evenly weighted on the tailbone and the hip. You're gonna firmly press those arms down as you just take an inhale. Now it's almost like we're reversing that roll up. So you wanna squeeze your glutes, draw your abdominals in, and then just peel up. Now from kind of the bottom up until you come all the way up into your bridge. Take an inhale and an exhale, squeeze, knit your ribs together, roll down one vertebra at a time. Wait until you can feel the last little bit of your pelvis hit, and you want to come right back into that neutral. So you want to pull in across your two hip bones, getting those low abdominal fibers, then mid-belly, upper abdominals. Make sure when you come up to the top, you're knitting those ribs in and you're really trying to reach your knees away from your shoulders. That's going to lengthen your spine out. So you want to think as you're rolling through your spine that you're literally stretching it out away from the crown of your head to get that nice opening through the spine. It's almost like you're stretching your spine like taffy. We're gonna do two more. And again, just checking in if you're rolling down evenly through the spine, if you're starting to turn, and wait one more side than the other. Take an inhale, exhale as you just articulate up. We'll take a pause about the top, just holding here in strength. Squeeze your glutes and open up through your hip flexors. Send your knees out away from your hips from your ribs, and then your ribs away from your shoulders. Take an inhale, exhale as you roll all the way down. Just draw your knees into the chest for a brief moment. Give a nice little rock from side to side for a stretch. And then you're gonna go ahead and take an inhale and exhale. You're just gonna lengthen those legs nice and long. Now we're gonna come into our hip circles. So ground your back of your legs down on the mat. Take an inhale, exhale as you just bend your right leg and extend it all the way up towards the ceiling. Now, if you have tight hamstrings, you may not be able to extend it all the way. That's okay. Just keep a soft bend. You'll get just as much work. Anchor down through your arms. You're gonna take an inhale as you go across the leg, and then you're gonna circle down and around and up. You really have to anchor through that opposite leg. Keep reaching it long and put lots of weight into that back side of that thigh. Your hips should not be wobbling, and that's where the core stability comes in. You take an inhale across the body and then circle down and around and up. We'll do two more before we reverse it. Good, one last one. Just seeing how it feels in that direction. Now really wait through that opposite hip as you open out, and then you're gonna circle down and around and up. So it's an inhale out. You have to anchor out through that opposite oblique and pull right back in. Good, we'll do two more before we switch legs. Last one, coming all the way up, bending that leg down and reaching it nice and low. Take an inhale, actually you weight down through that right leg, bending that knee, lifting all the way up. Reach that hip down to square up through the pelvis. We'll take an inhale across, circle down and around and up. Inhale across, circle down and around and up. You can do about 5 each direction, that's great. If you're at a place where you can just do 2 or 3, that's excellent too. And again, make sure that you still have energy through that opposite stabilizing leg. Last 5 going out, down and around and up. Out, down and around and up. Now the circles don't have to be very big. They're only gonna be as big as the hips and the pelvis stays level. So wherever you are at right now, take an inhale, bend that knee down, lengthen it nice and long, and you just finished.